It can get heated, we know, sometimes at the White House press briefings, and it did when Press Secretary Robert Gibbs and April Ryan, a White House correspondent with American Urban Radio Networks, got into this exchange. I want you to listen, and then April's going to talk to us afterwards about what happened. Take a listen.
Was there a concern in this White House that she came out being, some might have called her the belle of the ball, overshadowing the First Lady at the beginning?
I don't know who some are. I've never heard that.
Well,
again,
it's been bantered around Washington, and it's been in
again,
circles, Democratic circles as well as Republican circles, high-ranking
April,
people.
that's not a station I live in life.
As well. Answer the question, please.
Are you done speaking so I can?
Oh, yes, I'm done.
Excellent.
Yes.
I've not heard any of that criticism. I've not read any of that criticism. The President, the First Lady, and the entire White House staff are grateful for the job that she does and think she has done a terrific and wonderful job pulling off a lot of big and important events here at the White House.
Did she invite herself to the state dinner, or was she a guest of did the President invite her, or did she put her name? No, that's a real question. Do not fan it off. I'm serious. No,
Jonathan.
Seriously. No. Did she invite herself, or did the President ask her? Her name was on that list, and social secretaries are the ones who put the names on the list.
Right.
Did she invite herself?
Was she at the
or did
dinner? April, calm down. Just take a deep breath for 1 second. I see. This happens with my son. He does the same thing. No.
Don't play with me.
I'm not.
I'm being serious.
I'm giving you a serious answer. Was she at the dinner? Yes. She's the social secretary. She had the primary secretary. She had the primary secretary for running the dinner. I'm going to get back to weightier topics like 98,000 men and women in Afghanistan. Jonathan.
So April Ryan. April, you usually here on Sunday. You're here on Saturday now. What is going on? You said that this didn't just start that day. It started the day before. Did it go on for 2 days? Explain the backstory to us.
Well, Don, thanks for allowing me to come on. Number one, the questions began on Monday about this, and then they carried over again to Wednesday. So what you saw, that exchange right there, was Wednesday. But again, it's all about the security of the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of India as well. And typically, I've been at the White House for 13 years in January, 13 years. And across that time, I have been able to cover many events. And also, I have been an invited guest by 2 presidents to 2 state dinners myself, and other events at the White House I've been invited to by presidents. So I know how a lot of that happens at the gate. Now, the policy or the procedure that was in place prior to this administration was not followed, and it's a layering effect. The Secret Service is security, and you have normally, before this administration, a social office staffer standing at that gate who is checking the list. Again, you have Secret Service as security, and then the social office standing by, someone there, looking at the names. Because there's many people who come to the White House who may say, okay, I'm here and my guest is here, and only one name will be on the gate, and then the Secret Service will say, look, let's talk to the social office, and the social office will work it out. They'll find the original list and what have you and vet them. So all of the questions led up to that.
Did you feel, it sounds like to me, and I want to read real quickly, before I ask you this next question, the director of the Secret Service, Mark Sullivan, who testified during a Homeland Security Committee hearing on Thursday, said that he testified at a hearing that the Secret Service and the White House had a meeting to go over how they would handle the state dinner guests. The Secret Service signed off on the plan to have social office personnel roving in the area and not standing at the entrance checkpoint, clipboard in hand. So if they decided that, is it, I don't know, a feeling among the press corps or people who are questioning that some protocol, that this was mishandled in some way, April?
Well, and that's a good question, because when we started asking the questions on Monday, that policy was changed, so that procedure was changed back to where it was. The White House changed the procedure back to how it used to be in administrations before, and did more, and they're doing more in layering. So to help make sure that there are no more gate crashes, I guess you'd say, or state dinner crashes. I mean, and some might say, this is piddly, but it's not. The historic nature of this president, many African Americans have said, if a black president ever gets in the White House, what will happen? And you have to also remember that the White House, and I hate to say it, is a magnet for the crazies because every day something weird is happening. And you don't want to start a copycat situation. So, I mean, for people to come in and crash it and have a reality show behind them, that is, you know, that took it to the next level.
Did you feel like that Mr. Gibbs was blowing you off or in some way condescending to you? Because when people gasped in the room and also watching when he said, "That's the way I talk to my children," but did you feel like he was blowing you off? Because some people were saying she was upset from the beginning, and I don't know if we saw the beginning of the exchange.
No, you didn't see the beginning of the exchange, actually. But I was not upset at the beginning. But if you want to ask if both of us could have done things differently, sure we could have. Yes, we both could have. But you know what? There's another day. And, you know, we have actually talked since then. He had the gaggle, a morning meeting with reporters on Friday. And I was in the office with him, and he talked about some things about Russia first, and then I asked him a question about jobs, the new job numbers, and I asked him 2 questions, and he pontificated and talked.
Okay, let me ask you this. Because there has been talk not only in Washington, it's been on the blogs, it has been written about in the Washington Post and all over, even our own Lynn Sweet has written about it, about who should bear the burden of the responsibility for this. In the spotlight has been Desiree Rogers, the White House Social Secretary, also Director Mark Sullivan for the Secret Service and what have you. So what is the talk in Washington? Why are so many people focusing on Desiree Rogers, the Social Secretary? What is the story behind that?
Well, again, there's a cooperation normally at that gate that wasn't there, and that's why these 2 were able to come in. Granted, they have organic and metal detection devices outside before you come in, but still, who's to say what can happen once you get in? These people met the president and the prime minister and other people, the vice president. And, I mean, it takes one time, and that's the issue, the security of the president. Now, the office that's in charge of allowing people and inviting people to come in is the social office, which you just mentioned who heads it.
Yeah.
And then the Secret Service,
and
they
it's
work
Desiree
in
Rogers.
conjunction
Desiree
together.
Rogers is a longtime friend of the Obamas from Chicago, a very successful businesswoman.